If you enjoy camping in the woods, you must watch this video, as by the end of this episode, your opinion might change. Today, we present 2 unsettling horror stories shared by our viewers. So, without delay, let's get into today's stories. I'm Jacob, and I've got a bone-chilling camping tale that changed my view of the woods forever. Last year, me and my girlfriend Emily ventured into Virginia for a camping trip. Packed with excitement, we embarked on our journey. Reaching the campsite, we had a fun-filled day of hiking and fishing. As the evening approached, we set up our campsite, embracing the warmth of a crackling fire we made. Exhausted from the day's activities, Emily decided on a quick nap before dinner. I was outside, lost in my thoughts, when suddenly Emily started to scream. Emily's scream shattered the tranquility. I rushed inside and discovered her engulfed in a nightmare, trembling with fear. After consoling her, she explained that she had a nightmare about how she got attacked by hooded figures in her nightmare. She was terrified, and even after calming her down, an eerie atmosphere lingered throughout the night. The night settled in, and around midnight, nature's call beckoned me out of the tent. Gazing into the night, I noticed an odd fire in the distance. It concerned me, as it was an unusual spot for a campfire. Anxious but curious, I cautiously made my way towards it. As I got closer, I started to hear someone chanting. It was so unsettling to hear it in the middle of the woods. Creeping closer, I witnessed a spine-chilling scene. 6 to 8 hooded figures encircled a blazing fire, engaged in an eerie ritual. What struck me most was the girl lying near the flames, seemingly under some spell. Her anguished cries pierced through the woods, sending shivers down my spine. As I stood there, the chants abruptly ceased. The woods fell into an eerie silence. Then, in an unnerving turn, all hooded figures aligned themselves side by side, facing my direction, and continued to chant something in a low voice. Terrified for me and Emily's safety, I sprinted back to our camp, waking her abruptly, urging her to flee. She was so confused, but luckily she trusted me without asking any questions. We just grabbed our essentials, and we dashed through the dark woods, leaving everything else behind, while the relentless feeling of pursuit nipping at our heels. Reaching our car brought momentary relief, and we sped away. Emily was bewildered and bombarded me with questions. Reluctantly, I shared every detail, even revealing the ill-fated photo I had taken. Upon seeing the image, Emily fell into a stunned silence, her body trembling as tears streamed down her face. Deeply shaken, she struggled to contain her emotions. When I inquired about her distress, she finally confided that the hooded figures in the photo were the same people that attacked her in her nightmare. The revelation left us both paralyzed with fear. We couldn't bear to keep the photo on our phones, swiftly deleting it in a desperate attempt to rid ourselves of the terrifying connection. That terrifying night marked the end of our camping adventures for good. My name is John. A few years ago, I went to camp in the serene woods, nestled near the outskirts of Timberlake National Park. It was just me. It was my way of trying to escape the city's noise. I used to do this every year, and I usually like to camp when there is less crowd. I left early that day and parked my car on the side of the road and started hiking into the woods. There were no other cars. It kind of made me happy because I love solitude. As evening crept in, I finished setting up my camp and I realized that I needed more firewood for the campfire. Looking around, I saw a flicker of light from the other side of my campsite. Curiosity got the better of me and I decided to check it out. Leaving my tent, I followed the glowing light, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. The light danced among the trees, leading me deeper into the unknown. Soon, I reached a cabin hidden in the woods. It looked spooky, its presence sending shivers down my spine against the darkening sky. I hesitated to investigate further. I tried staying hidden, but a man inside cabin had noticed me. He came out of the old abandoned cabin. He was looking rough and kinda scary. There were a lot of questions in my head. For starters, what was he even doing in this abandoned cabin? And how long has he been here? As I was thinking all this, I heard his voice. He greeted me warmly, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Things got weird as I noticed an old axe with red stains on it leaning against the wall. I asked about it, and he said it was for hunting, but it gave me a bad feeling. I was not convinced with his answer. Then he started to talk. He was asking me about what was I doing there and other usual things, but as we continued to talk, I noticed that he was asking so many questions, and it was getting personal. So much so that at one point he even asked if I'm alone, but I didn't feel like giving him the right answer. So lied to him, told him that I was with friends. He looked disappointed after hearing that answer. I didn't understand why he is asking so many things. I felt like he was gathering information about me. It made me even more uncomfortable. So I quickly made an excuse to leave and rushed back to my campsite, feeling relieved to be away from that weird place. But the memory lingered, giving me the shivers. Weeks later, I was watching the news when I saw the man from the cabin. The reporter said he was a dangerous serial killer. My heart raced as I realized how close I had been to danger that day in the woods. The thought made me feel grateful and scared at the same time. I had narrowly escaped something terrible. The memory of that eerie cabin and its mysterious inhabitant made me wary of venturing deep into the woods alone again. And I'm still glad that I trusted my instincts that day.